Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Foreclosure Help 777, where we talk about everything foreclosure related. I hope everyone's doing really well right now. And today's topic is pretty interesting for most everybody fighting foreclosure, and it comes up sooner or later usually, and it's bankruptcy. So let's get started. Okay, bankruptcy defense presentation, bankruptcy basics. Why homeowners file bankruptcy to stop foreclosure? Well, there's a lot of reasons, and let's go through them. Immediate protection. If you have an imminent sale date, it'll stop that. Loan modification denials or delays. Pressure from multiple creditors. The automatic stay provision instantly stops foreclosure even the same day. It stops lawsuits, garnishments, and all collection. It gives homeowners breathing room or to regroup. Regaining control. Time to reorganize your finances or gather documents. Prevents lockouts and forced moves. Creates space to explore modifications or alternatives. Protecting equity. Bankruptcy protects home value, even underwater homes. Prevents loss of equity in fast rising markets. Court supervised structure. Predictable arrears cure. Prevents dual tracking and servicer gamemanship. Overview of bankruptcy chapters and foreclosure defense. Chapter 13. Most people will look at a Chapter 13, and let's go over the reasons why. Designed to let homeowners keep property and repay arrears over time. So let's say you're behind in your mortgage for a year. That year of arrears you can make up through a bankruptcy plan. Requires regular income. So if you're a wage earner and you're making money and you're up to date with your tax filings and debt within statutory limits, you can do this. Must show feasible ability to make planned payments. Let's talk about curing a mortgage arrears. Let's talk about the Chapter 13 3 to 5 year plan. Arrears placed in the Chapter 13 plan and repaid monthly over 36 to 60 months. No late fees are going to be assessed during this plan. Only Chapter 13 can force a lender to accept arrears over time. Must stay current on post-petition payments. Okay, so after it's finished, you got to keep your payments going after that. Maintaining ongoing mortgage payments. Payments resume the month after filing. They're made directly to the bankruptcy trustee. So your payments go to the trustee. They come up with a plan for all your debts, and you just pay him. And then the bankruptcy pays all your creditors. Falling behind post-petition can allow a lender to lift the stay, so you don't want to miss any post-petition payments. Plan confirmation and feasibility. The court must approve and bind the creditors. Income must cover the mortgage and household expenses and trustee payment. Common problems are understated expenses, irregular income, inflated arrears. Objections may require amended plans or corrected figures. Advantage for homeowners. It stops foreclosure immediately. Arrears repaid over time. It protects your equity. It allows junior lien stripping if you have a second mortgage. Can lower interest on some secured debts like cars or rentals. Addresses their HOA taxes, car payments, all in one plan. Reduces servicer misconduct through court oversight. When Chapter 13 is smart. If you have a temporary hardship causing arrears, too much arrears for reinstatement, homeowner wants to save equity, you have an imminent sale date, or you need a lien stripping. Lender is delayed or refusing a loan mod. When it's not smart, when you have no income or stability, impossible arrears, extremely underwater property, intent to surrender, then you don't want to go that route. Chapter 7, let's look at Chapter 7 now. Chapter 7 is limited but sometimes strategic. You still get the automatic stay benefit. It'll stop foreclosure in 3 to 4 months. Useful for temporary delay, document gathering, or a transition from a 7 to a 13. That's also another way to do it. When Chapter 7 buys time, when homeowner has no income for a Chapter 13 yet, when they need time for a mod review or to prepare a home sale. It'll discharge your unsecured debts. It'll wipe your credit cards, medical bills, loans. It frees income to resume mortgage payments or to afford the Chapter 13 plan. So sometimes people will use a 7 to get rid of all their credit cards and all those other debts, which will free up money to use for a Chapter 13 repayment plan. I mean, that's another option, guys. Why Chapter 7 does not save the home. No ability to cure arrears with a Chapter 7, so you can't really save the home. Lender resumes foreclosure once the case ends. So it doesn't remove the lien, it just removes you having to pay it. But that doesn't mean that you're going to keep your house in a Chapter 7. When Chapter 7 is part of a bigger strategy. Chapter 20. File Chapter 7 to eliminate consumer debt. Then file Chapter 13 to cure arrears. Helps with lien stripping, mod negotiations, and buying additional time. Reaffirming a mortgage in Chapter 7. Voluntary agreement to stay liable for the mortgage. In other words, you wouldn't include your mortgage in your Chapter 7. You're reaffirming it, that you're paying it. It helps rebuild credit, regain access to statements, portals, and refinance later. It's smart when a homeowner is current and intends to keep the home. It's not smart if payments are unaffordable or the home is heavily underwater. How bankruptcy stops foreclosure. Again, the automatic stay stops the sale instantly. Filing must occur before the sale completes. Lenders may file for relief if payments fail, and bankruptcy prevents dual tracking. Both judicial and non-judicial sales halt. What bankruptcy can do: cure arrears, strip junior liens, cram down certain loans like investment property or cars, remove wholly unsecured second mortgages, stop HOA foreclosure and tax levies. Strategic timing here. Filing early gives more options. Filing right before the sale still works. Delay filing when waiting for income or a loan mod decision. Bankruptcy after a mod denial or before mediation increases your leverage. Now, there's also something called objection to proof of claim. If you see a break in the chain of title to your property, let's say the homeowner challenges whether the creditor can prove proper assignments of mortgage, the right beneficiary, valid note enforcement, accurate arrears. If these things are not clear, and we all know about some of these assignments, so then you can file an objection to the proof of claim. So, how it works? The creditor must attach the note, the mortgage, assignments, and payment history to the proof of claim. Once filed, the proof of claim is presumed valid. The debtor must produce evidence showing, the debtor, that's you, must produce evidence showing errors. In other words, explaining that that assignment of mortgage isn't valid. So they don't have, they're not the proper party to foreclose. In Chapter 13, it's very useful. A defective claim can reduce arrears, delay foreclosure, block creditor payment, force correction of assignments, provide leverage in modification or plan negotiation. In Chapter 7, however, it's limited. It rarely affects the case, mostly used to delay foreclosure or affect trustee decisions about equity. So you wouldn't really use it for 7, mostly for 13. Let's talk about cram downs and junior lien stripping. Cram downs reduce a secured loan to a collateral value. Unsecured portion paid pennies on the dollar. Not allowed on first mortgage or primary residence. Allowed for, like if you have rental property, another home, vacation home, certain mobile homes, and cars that are 910 days old. If you have a new car loan that's 2.5 years old, it'll allow you to do that. Now, junior lien stripping applies to second mortgages and HELOCs on a primary home. But the rule is the first mortgage must exceed the home value. In other words, you must be underwater on your first mortgage to get rid of your second mortgage. If a second mortgage is wholly unsecured, it is stripped and removed after the plan completion. In other words, you can get rid of it. Get rid of your second mortgage. Now, here's a little table here. Cram down versus lien stripping, simple comparison. Okay, the cram down versus the lien stripping. And again, cram down is almost any collateral, not the primary home first mortgage. Junior lien stripping, however, affects second or third mortgages. Requirement, the collateral is worth less than the loan. Junior lien stripping affects first lien home value. Effect, loan reduced to value, and junior lien strip, the lien's eliminated. Secured, part unsecured, and then the junior lien strip is fully unsecured. Chapter 13, yes. Yes. Chapter 7, no, no. So again, Chapter 13 works for a lot of people in mortgage better than Chapter 7. But I wanted y'all to see the differences. If you're in foreclosure and you want to file bankruptcy to save your house, these are some considerations that you should think about when you're fighting the banks. I hope this has been helpful to y'all. If you have any questions, you can always send me an email to foreclosurehelp777@gmail.com or leave a comment below. And I hope everyone has a blessed day.